Hello, this time I'm going on the new bullet train that recently opened in Japan. I'm in the Kyushu area in a place called Hakata in Fukuoka Prefecture. This time I'll be going to Nagasaki. Until now, the KAMOME, a conventional limited express train, used to connect Hakata and Nagasaki. But now a new Shinkansen bullet train has opened here. At this stage, however, the line is only operating tentatively for the section from Nagasaki to Takeo Onsen Station. The section from Hakata to Takeo Onsen must still be reached by the conventional express train and then transferred to the Shinkansen at Takeo Onsen. In Japan, conventional lines used by commuter trains and express trains and the Shinkansen, which can run at high speed, have different track widths. Therefore, they cannot operate directly on the same train. Free-gauge trains with different wheel widths have been used in several countries outside Japan, but there are no practical examples yet in Japan. There are plans to run a free-gauge train on the Shinkansen to Nagasaki, and tests were being conducted for this purpose, but unfortunately, they were not carried out. So, today is September 23rd, 2022. It is the very day of the operating of the Shinkansen line to Nagasaki. Hakata Station is divided into Shinkansen and conventional line ticket gates. To go to Nagasaki, please do not forget to go through the ticket gates for conventional line as before. I'll be taking this really KAMOME train. The word really was added to the name of the train running on the conventional line section of the route to Nagasaki. Here it comes. The black train looks like a French TGV.
JR 九州をご利用くださいましてありがとうございます。この列車は特急リレーカモメ9号長崎行きです。Limited Express bound for Nagasaki. We will be stopping at Tosu, Shintosu, Saga, and Takeo Onsen. Cars number 5 through number 8 are for passengers without seat reservations. Please do not smoke on this train. The next station is Tosu. After leaving Tosu, we will stop at Shintosu.
It is a little confusing because it only takes you to Takeo Onsen even though it tells you that the train is bound for Nagasaki. Passengers going to Nagasaki need to change trains at Takeo Onsen on the way to Nagasaki. The transfer time is actually only 3 minutes. If this is your first time riding in this train, you may feel a little upset, but as I will explain in detail later, it is designed to make it easier for you to change trains.
This train is the Relay KAMOME Limited Express, bound for Nagasaki. We will be stopping at Takeo Onsen. The next station is our final destination, Takeo Onsen.
After stopping at Tosu, Shintosu, and Saga, the next stop is Takeo Onsen, the last stop of this really KAMOME train. Like this, the Shinkansen is already waiting for you beside it. When you get for the train, the Shinkansen is parking on the platform right next to it. In Japan, transferring between the Shinkansen and conventional train is usually accompanied by up and down movements such as stairs. However, in order to reduce the burden of transferring between Shinkansen trains, the Shinkansen now allows transfers to be made on the same platform. Although transferring trains in 3 minutes may seem to be a little difficult, the convenience of this system makes it possible for passengers to transfer at the same platform. Unless you fell asleep on the train, I think you will be able to transfer without any problem. The car is the N700S, which is also used on Japan's main transportation artery, the Tokaido Shinkansen. In the future, this train will also run to Texas in the United States. The Tokaido Shinkansen has a white background with blue lines, but the N700S here in Kyushu has an elaborate appearance that makes it hard to believe that it is the same type of train. Seats are different between reserved seats and non-reserved seats. The non-reserved seats look like this, with 2 rows of seats and 3 rows of seats. These are the same seats as those on the Tokaido Shinkansen, but in different colors. On the other hand, reserved seats are more spacious than non-reserved seats. There is no green color equivalent to business class on this Shinkansen, but I think that a standard reserved seat is sufficient. There are also restrooms on the train deck. There are also a number of traditional crafts exhibits like this. It is like a museum running at 200 km per hour.
This is the KAMOME Super Express, bound for Nagasaki. We'll be stopping at 4 stations before arriving at Nagasaki Terminal.
So the train differs from Takeo Onsen. Stops on the way are Ureshino Onsen, Shin Omura, and Isahaya. Some trains will pass through Ureshino Onsen and Shin Omura. The train arrives at Ureshino Onsen about 5 minutes after departing from Takeo Onsen. It is famous for its tea. It is also very famous as a hot spring resort. After leaving Ureshino Onsen, the next stop is Shin Omura Station in Nagasaki Prefecture. The Shinkansen we are riding this time has tunnels for 60% of its length, and not even half of the section has a scenic view. However, you can enjoy the view of tea fields, the sea, and the townscape in some parts. Next is Isahaya. This is a relatively large city with a population of 130,000. Since it is the first day of operating, there are many people welcoming the train. After leaving Isahaya, the next stop is Nagasaki, the final destination. Nagasaki is a city with a population about 400,000. Until about 100 years ago, it was the most popular city in the Kyushu region, but it has now lost that status. It is very famous as a city where the atomic bomb was dropped during the Second World War. The Atomic Bomb Museum displays vivid materials on the atomic bomb. About 1/3 of the population of Nagasaki died in an instant, and more than 30% of the building collapsed. The city has successfully recovered from such damage, and in 2022, the Shinkansen bullet train finally opened here. I hope that the operating of the Shinkansen will encourage more people to visit Nagasaki, both in Japan and abroad. The train slides into Nagasaki Station, the last stop. The ride on the Shinkansen section takes about 30 minutes, which means that the train has traveled 66 km in 30 minutes. I hope this video will help you on your trip. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos about transportation in Japan.